Boom! We're live!
Yay!
What's up, guys? Welcome to Side Hustle Pros Live, episode number
3.
What are we talking about today?
My favorite.
Oh,
We're
boy.
gonna do a SmackDown.
We're doing a SmackDown, Amazon versus eBay.
Yeah.
We're actually gonna do a real quick. We're gonna so this is like, consider this rough draft of what we're doing, because we want to do some Q&A, go back and forth with you guys, get the best content.
We want to put our comments where we can see them.
I can actually, should probably, I don't know.
We do this all the time.
I don't know what I would do without wifey. Seriously. Let me get comments open. So I'm sure we got some people out right now.
There we go.
All
so
right.
Charles was saying this is episode 3 of Side Hustle Pros.
We can't edit this one.
I know. You guys just have to watch us be silly.
They've been digging the bloopers lately.
And it's an episode that I've been so excited to do. I've said this from basically day one that we should do this video. And I love it so much because Charles is was a die-hard Amazon. Only that was the way to sell. And I have slowly and surely converted him to eBay. So I love this episode. We are doing eBay versus Amazon.
So
put your dukes up.
This is going to be a rough draft again. So we want to do open Q&A style here for the most part. We have some bullet points we're going to cover based on what we like and don't like about each platform. But with that being said, we are going to do a full edited version, which will be just a quick 10 to 15 minute official finalized video. So it's very short, sweet, to the point. This is going to be a full hour, so we can do some Q&A and all that kind of fun stuff with you guys. Slowly converting him. I love it. Oh, nice. I'm sorry if I butcher this. Salima?
Yep.
Hey guys, I just sold my first item on eBay and I have tons of questions. Thanks for going live. That is awesome. Congrats on the first sale. That's
nice.
That's one of the, your first sale you'll never forget. It's one of my favorite moments of anything. Your second favorite will be the $100 mark, the $500 mark, the $1,000 mark. Those are really, really cool marks.
Yeah.
So congrats on that. Yeah, you guys drop your questions below.
And get plugged into our eBay and Amazon groups on Facebook, especially if you're a newbie on either platform. There's tons of information, tons of people willing to help. We've really made this super amazing culture of really helpful people. So we're very proud of that.
Yeah. What are those called?
What is it called again? Amazon is called FBA Rockstars, and our eBay group is eBay Rockstars.
So get plugged in if you guys aren't already.
For sure.
So we're going to dive in. We also have Instagram going over here.
Hey,
so
Instagram.
What's up, Instagram? If you guys have questions, drop them below, either side, YouTube or Instagram. We'll be sure to come back around and answer as many as we can, the best that we can, just based on our experience. Let me start with this. We are by no means high volume sellers. We're not experts. We're just a husband, wife team that we do this for a living now. It kind of blows our mind.
We get to do this
every day. I packed up, how many boxes did we do today? We did a ton of boxes today. A lot of Amazon shipments went out.
4.
And you got your you got all your eBay stuff done. Yesterday was a great sales day. We had 11 sales come through. I think 12 by the end of the day, which for us
it was 10.
10, which for us is awesome. That was an awesome day.
Yep.
So we want to be relatable with you guys, and because I think so many high volume level people tend to get on such a high volume that they have a hard time really connecting with the person who's just starting, making that first $100, that first 500, that first 1,000. That's what we kind of want to hone in and help out with.
Right. And when you're new, just starting out, watching these people ship 70 to 100 things every day just feels so unattainable. And we're not there yet either, but we know we can be, and we're just sharing what we know as we go. So with that said,
let's do it. Amazon versus eBay. So backstory, because we have a lot of new people hopping on the channel. So welcome to the channel. First of all, thanks for tuning in. So I started myself when Trista was still at a medical job. If you guys don't know our background, go watch our episode from last week. Last week? Yes, last week. Episode 2 of Side Hustle Pros Live, and we shared kind of our backstories. So with that being said, I just realized this is the wrong angle. There we go. So We started Amazon because I went to a little mini seminar, and this was December 2015. I sent in my first shipment. I was super excited. Actually, no, it was November. My first sale was on Thanksgiving Day because do you remember the dinner? I had my phone out and I kept, she didn't know at the time.
Shooting him death glares.
I was getting death glares at Thanksgiving dinner of all places. I'm like I'm refreshing my Amazon sellers app like a maniac because I saw that my first shipment checked in. I'm like, I'm going to make sale. I'm going to make sale. I'm going to make sale.
I think we like sold all of our inventory on Black Friday, just like what we had sent in.
Yeah,
anyway,
so it was Thanksgiving during dinner. I sold $7.49. It was a $1 puzzle I picked up. So I was super excited. I probably lost money on the sale, but I was so excited. So that's kind of where we started. That was November 2015. So it's coming up on 2 years this December. And then we started eBay. We've kind of had an eBay account. We just throw random stuff up on.
eBay was like everything. Once we started getting really heavy into retail arbitrage and some OA, when we would get returns, Amazon pulls that a customer would open a box and then send it back. So it's technically a used product. We would offload those on eBay, and that was just kind of our way to keep our inventory moving and not in our garage. We didn't pay a lot of attention to our account.
No, and for the longest time, you would hear the words, I hate eBay. And that's why she takes so much pride right now because she finally converted me to where I'm actually like sourcing for eBay and loving eBay. And we'll cover why I love it and why I ended up converting.
So what kind of products do you sell on Amazon?
So let's dive straight in. Products on Amazon. So we'll lead with this because we've been doing this YouTube channel since we started, so a year and a half ago. And back then it was a different ballgame than it is now on Amazon. Amazon has brand restrictions and category gatings, and they're rolling out with more and more strict policies. It seems like on a monthly basis now. They kind of just come up with new stuff all the time. So Amazon, you can't sell on Amazon like you used to. You used to be able to, especially when I started, because I did it by myself for 4 months until Trista quit her job and came home to do it with me. So for 4 months, I went out to stores, and as a newbie back then, before all this Amazon policy craziness kicked in, you were able to go into Walmart, because this is what I did. You went into Walmart, Target, Kohl's, whatever store you want. You can scan every product on every aisle, and there was no such thing as like these restrictions that popped up, unless it was one of the big three, which of course that has now changed. And I say big three, meaning grocery, beauty, and health and personal care. Those, of course, they're, some of them are ungated now just naturally. That's a whole different topic. But back then it was just the wild, wild west. You can sell whatever you want. Newbies can go scan, no restrictions. So the product we sell now on Amazon and we recommend is new product. We highly recommend, even though we do sell some, I say some, very small, we're converting over to eBay with this, some used electronics. I would never list a new electronic personally on our account. We do not list electronics. Even if I buy it from the Walmart shelf, we will not list it as new because we can't use the warranty anymore. And that's something that some people are going to fight that. Some people are going to say, hey, I don't agree with it, and that's fine. This is just our personal risk tolerance. We no longer can guarantee that warranty that comes, because if you go purchase something, your warranty is active at the time of purchase. And that's something you need to do your research on, just Google, YouTube, all that fun stuff. So new product is what we recommend on Amazon, specifically if you can get a distributor or a wholesale invoice to go with it, because that is the arena that Amazon wants sellers to go to. They want you to either private label or wholesale. That's just the honest truth that they're moving towards. Can you still do RA and OA? Yes, you can, because we do it. But again, you want to make sure you're buying from legit companies. So yeah, you can buy from Walmart and Toys R Us and all those fun places, but make sure you have your receipts just ready to go, because we've been hit with IP claims or authenticity. Yeah. You have to have that stuff to prove that you bought it. That's where you can't necessarily just go into thrift stores, and please never, because we've done it and we've made the mistakes. Learn from us if you can. Never go into a thrift store now. You used to be able to do it. Don't go in now to a thrift store, buy product and list it on Amazon as new, because you have no proof that that's an authentic item. That's just something we stand by with our own personal business, and it's just information we're relaying to you. If you're an Amazon seller, I will just put a caution up, enter at your own risk. If you want to sell used electronics or anything in that category, that's just something, it's a very fine line. So we want to draw it right there. So new products is what we prefer on Amazon. Anything used, we're now putting up on eBay. And the thing that's blown my mind away with product is the used, especially electronics. The used electronics, as you guys are seeing in our Flips and Find series, are selling just as well on eBay as they did on Amazon. And for me, that's been...
Wait, so you like eBay?
That's been shocking.
What are you talking about?
I never thought I would actually like eBay. I'll get into my cons of eBay. I'll get into that.
Okay, so I love eBay. After I started really getting into wanting something of my own at home, Charles was really heavy into RA and OA, and I just don't like looking at websites for hours and finding the next deal. It's just not my thing. So I started going to thrift stores, and who doesn't love to sell clothes? I know I do. So I just started going through and finding clothes that I could make double my money or triple or quadruple my money. And that's where I started. The great thing, like Charles was saying, is that there are no restrictions on eBay. So you can buy Disney or Lego or, you know, whatever brand you want or find and put it up on eBay. And there's no gray area about like used or new or blah, blah. It's either used or it's new. You list it as such and you move on. So I really like eBay for that reason. Yeah. That's the big difference in products. So I would say for sure, Amazon is new in the box, never broken seal. And then eBay is kind of everything else. And that doesn't mean that we don't sell new on eBay. We actually sell quite a bit of new things on eBay. One of the ways that we'll decide whether it goes on Amazon versus eBay is just what the comps are looking like. So if we know that we can get $20 more on Amazon, we'll probably send it to Amazon. If we know that it's about the same price and on both platforms, then we might send it to eBay, especially if it's a high ticket item, because eBay's payout is PayPal. You can access that high ticket item or, you know, your payment right away. So that's a really exciting thing.
Got James in the house.
Hey.
Awesome. Yeah, so that's kind of, we have bullet points of different topics we're going to cover. And if you guys have questions related to those, we are going to come back through and do Q&A with you guys. So keep dropping questions. We'll come back through and answer for you Instagram too.
Yeah. If you're on our Instagram, just come over to YouTube so we can keep track of your comments.
So that's covering products. So what we focus on for products I'll cover that on the next one. I'll cover the main reason. There's one reason and one reason only that I have begun to love eBay, and I'm putting actual focus into it. And I'll cover that in a few bullet points. But next up is shipping. So the main difference between shipping from Amazon versus eBay, and this kind of goes in with the listing itself. So listings, let's say you go to eBay and you type in iPhone 7. You're going to see thousands of different listings, different conditions, different photos, all that kind of stuff. So you have to filter through and find, okay, what's the right condition with the right price, and that's your purchase as a customer. Amazon will have one listing, so it's the same photo, same listing, and then underneath that, of course, sellers already know this, you're going to have all your different sellers at their different price points and their different conditions. So Amazon is much more organized on their back end stuff because they have one listing per item. If you see two listings pop up, it's not supposed to have two. So somebody made their own listing when they weren't supposed to in that case. But that's the big difference between the actual listings. As for shipping, Amazon, you can do either FBA, which is fulfillment by Amazon, or you can do merchant filled, or MF, as you'll hear me refer to it. I've merchant filled a few items. I personally don't do it because this is the reason I did not like eBay for the longest time, is because I don't want crap in my garage all the time. Like, that was the biggest issue I had with eBay, is I have to store all my own crap. Like, we don't have room for it. So I don't merchant fill, but my main focus has always been FBA because I get to treasure hunt, which is my favorite thing in the world. I get to go out and find stuff I can flip for a profit. I slap a label on it. I give it to Amazon.
Seeing how excited he
I get
is
so
just about
excited.
talking about buying stuff.
I get to ship it to Amazon and they do the rest. And then I go find more stuff. That's why I've always loved FBA. And every time I heard the word eBay, I'm like, ugh. I have to like store my own stuff. I have to ship it. I have to talk to the customers. Like I didn't want to do any of that stuff. But again, I'll talk about why I did eventually start to actually like it. So that's kind of my take on the main difference between the two.
Yeah. So Amazon, as long as you send it into FBA, you don't have to worry about shipping, talk to customers. It's very hands off. And if that's the approach that you want to go moving forward with any business, you know, maybe you're a brick and mortar versus just being e-commerce or whatever your situation is. If you want to be hands off, eBay's probably not going to be a passion for you. You do have buyers messaging you, asking questions about this or that. You're going to have just to ship your own items. So you'll have to determine how much that item weighs, what the dimensions will be when you ship it, so that you can either charge the customer that shipping or factor that into your final price so that you can, you know, eat the shipping costs. So there's a lot more on the back end as far as eBay goes. But I mean, it is a trade-off. You have to decide what you hate more. Does that make sense?
All that runs through my head is eBay is a pain in the ass.
So it is.
I want hands off. Like
it is more hands on.
The more hands off I can get with anything, like the better.
Yeah.
So that's why I've always steer clear from it. But as far as the shipping process goes, Amazon, all you have to worry about is shipping product to Amazon. They tell you which warehouses to send it to, and you send it there. Mm-hmm. And you get a fat discount with UPS and FedEx, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Especially if you do what's called LTL, which is less than truckload. You basically can send individual boxes, which it varies.
Are you talking about for eBay or Amazon?
For Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for Amazon, it varies, but you'll see if you send in just a few boxes of inventory, just regular UPS drop-off style, you can pay anywhere from 30 cents all the way up to like 60 to 80 cents per pound. If you do LTO, which is where you take a bunch of product and put it onto a pallet and then, of course, stretch wrap, put the label on it that way, and then ship it off to Amazon that way, you're going to pay, I've seen guys do for like 12 cents a pound. It's crazy low shipping. So you get a huge discount on shipping with Amazon. eBay shipping, of course, those of you who do eBay, you already know this. You have to, let's say you get the sale. Okay, pull it from inventory, go into your back end, your back office, whatever you want to call it. Click ship this item, and then you have to go through and select which way do you want to ship it. You can do FedEx or USPS, different versions for each one. And then from there, you have to package it up and ship it yourself to the customer. And that was always the reason I did not want to get into eBay, was because I don't want to have to, especially because this is before we had employees helping us out, is we were doing this all ourselves. Like I didn't want to have to spend all day, every day shipping stuff out. So
yeah. And then the other thing I would add is that if you do decide to go eBay and if you're listing a lot of heavier things, you want to check the difference between FedEx and USPS.
Yes.
There's usually a pretty good difference. Anything over 2 pounds, I try to ship FedEx unless it's, we ship, the only exception to that is that we ship our shoes USPS. And aside from that, I try to stick everything in a FedEx box if it's over that 2 pound limit. So
you can usually get it pretty cheap too.
Yeah, right.
Customer service.
Oh, boy. Probably the worst part of eBay is the customers who want the back and forth dialogue. And I'm not sure why people do this.
I think it depends on the types of products too.
Yeah.
Because you sell clothing.
I do.
So you get a lot of constant emails of what are the dimensions of the left shoulder to the right lower like stomach. You get weird requests.
I've had people send me pictures of themselves wearing the clothing that I
almost
sent.
Died.
You can't talk about it, but
I almost died. It was so funny.
It is very strange, but again, it's a trade-off. So you will have the occasional eBay customer who wants a more intense dialogue than just buying the item. And that's pretty rare, honestly, but it does happen.
Yep.
So with Amazon FBA, you never talk to them ever.
Nada. In Amazon world of FBA, if you merchant fill, that's on you. You have to do customer service, shipping, all of it yourself. Now, Amazon FBA, you do pay more for fees, of course, but again, Amazon takes care of customer service, shipping. You're getting access to their customers. They do all of it. Like, that's what I love about it. But if you do ever get a message from an item you sold FBA from a customer, there's been a very rare cases I have ever replied back to one of those. If I get somebody that just has a basic question of like, hey, I got the item. I had one guy ask how he turned it on. I literally had a guy just ask, hey, I got the item, great condition, as expected. How do I turn the thing on? And it was just a push and hold for 3 seconds scenario on a camera. I think it was a camera. It was a while ago. And so that was like one of the rare cases I'll message back. But if you are doing FBA and you do get a customer message that's like, hey, I need to do a return, I have a complaint, like whatever it is, that's what you pay Amazon fees for. So take advantage of it. So send them just a copy and paste message you can have in your notepad that says, thank you for reaching out to yourself, or put your company name. We appreciate you reaching out. Unfortunately, I cannot help you with this issue. It was fulfilled by Amazon, which means you have to reach out to their customer service. And that's been the generic copy paste I've given to every customer email I've ever gotten. And that's what you pay them for. So I highly recommend you use it.
Yep, for sure.
We already covered new versus used. If you guys have any like bullet points you want us to cover too, go for it.
Let's see if we can read these.
Do you want to do some questions?
Let's keep going. We'll definitely answer questions.
Yeah, we'll come back
towards
through.
the end.
Niches.
Niche. I think it's called niche.
Niche.
I don't know.
I call them niche.
So if you love vintage Star Wars collectible action figures and you want to sell them, probably you won't be able to sell them as successfully as you would on Amazon as you would eBay. So for anything that's very eclectic or collectible or, vintage and that kind of niche, definitely throw it on eBay. If you have something that, like we said, is new in the box, especially that's trending, a lot of people love to go on Amazon and buy the next best thing on Amazon. Mm-hmm. Oh, I got it on Amazon, on my Prime account. Sure. So definitely identify what your niche is and then put it on the right platform. And
with that too, what we found is like, so pre-selling, like pre-flipping, I have never purchased anything in my life from eBay. Never had any desire to, because I was like a regular consumer that thought eBay was the dirty platform. Like there's just a bunch of junk. Like I never had any desire to even look at eBay. And I think that's how a lot of Amazon Prime customers are. Amazon Prime customers pay the Prime membership for a reason. They want that 2-day shipping. That's all they care about. So this gets into, maybe we should do another bullet point.
Yeah, we're going off on rabbit trails here. Sorry.
I'm going to do it. No, I want to do a bullet point on pricing because I know that's a really good one. But anyways, so Amazon people, like they just love Amazon. eBay people love eBay. I mean, rarely do you see the crossover a whole lot, at least based on what I've noticed. I don't know. I would really be interested to know how many people shop both store or sites. Because I'm looking at me. I was like, I was gung ho on Amazon Prime. I used it for years. Yeah. I had no idea what third-party sellers were on Amazon. So that's kind of the little side rant on that. And then again, like we said earlier, just because you have a niche that would work better on Amazon, don't be afraid to put it up on eBay, because we sell new on eBay all the time. Yeah, definitely. So with niches, happy. I don't know. With niches, like Trista said, collectible items do really well on eBay. People love that stuff because they're searching for it. Especially if you ever come across any rare antique type things. I mean, there's some serious money to be made. We walk by antique stuff all the time, and I always think, how many thousands of dollars have we missed out on if there was like that one piece of collectible item that one eBay person needed?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's collector's items. Definitely try eBay first, and you can cross list on both. That gets into like softwares and programs. JoeLister.com has a great one where they list they take an Amazon listing, one of your products, and make an eBay listing for it, and then you can basically drop ship your own item over there. So that's a great way to do it. It's just list on both platforms. You never know.
Yeah.
Policies.
This is why I love eBay.
Difference. Here's the big difference between Amazon and eBay. Amazon is very strict. They will lay down the ban hammer on you if you mess up and they catch you on certain things.
What's a ban hammer?
The ban hammer.
Is that a thing?
Suspended. It's the ban hammer. That actually comes from our admin chat in the Rockstars group, because we have to lay the ban hammer on members sometimes.
Okay. Yeah. So Amazon's really strict about, and they have to be. They want to keep a level of integrity.
High expectations.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's where their policies probably come from. Who knows? We don't know. You know, Amazon is its own thing. It does what it wants.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. eBay, I mean, this gets into, I guess, on that same like policies, fees. Like eBay, you just have 13% because you have your 10% final, I call it a closing fee, but your final fee when something sells for the whole sale price, they take 10% and you'll get billed once a month for that. And then you have 3% for PayPal. So about 13% is your eBay fees. That's kind of it. And then if you offer free shipping, obviously that eats into your margin too. But on Amazon, you will pay, it depends because they go by dimensional weight of your items within the storage. So if you have an item that sits for more than 30 days, it's typically cents. I can't stand when I see some sellers complaining about this monthly storage fee. Like you realize you're paying cents to have them store it and it's not in your house. I will happily pay that all day long. Yeah. So Amazon has extra fees and they're higher. You need to do your research on that. Just look up the Amazon TOS and you can see the dimensional weight and all that kind of stuff they charge. So every 6 months, they will have a long-term storage fee. That one can kick you in the butt if you're sitting on heavy stuff like books. You'll get, we were getting ready to get hit with we had $500.
Yeah. And then we had some Christmas trees.
Oh, those things were heavy. We had Christmas trees sitting longer than I wanted to. So we had to pull one of them. Luckily the other one sold.
Yeah.
But I was watching those like, that's going to cost a lot of money for those. So you have to kind of look at your dimensional weight of your boxes that are sitting in the inventory inside of Amazon's warehouses. So you can see upwards of, 20, 30, 35% on the high end for your fees. So yes, it is higher, but remember how much they're doing. We see the value in it, so we're going to continue doing it, of course. It's all a trade-off of the value versus the cost.
Right.
That's the big difference between the fees is 13%. And then on average, we see probably like 25 to 30% in fees. Yeah. Somewhere around there.
And you have to also realize though that the platform is so powerful. It's very, very worth it to us to pay those fees just to have access to the customer base, obviously.
So that's a big difference between policies. eBay, there's a few companies that you can't sell their product or like use their name, or you'll get you get a slap on the wrist for that one. Very rarely have I heard of people that are actually suspended for minor things on eBay, but it's kind of the wild, wild west. You can sell pretty much anything, and there's really not rules as far as like your listings and stuff like that. Of course, there's some guidelines to follow. Don't get me wrong, but you have to do your research on that. We can't give you all the policies script for script right here. Right. So do your research. Look at both terms of service is TOS, by the way. So look at both sets of TOS on both platforms and really decide kind of where you want to go with those. Payouts. Here's the fun part.
Yeah. So eBay is linked through PayPal. For most of you probably know this because you're on the platform or have looked into it or maybe bought something on it. So as soon as that payment clears through PayPal, you have access to that money right away. It's pretty sweet. That's all I have to say.
That
it's really that simple.
was the main reason I switched. That right there is why I wanted to put more focus on eBay, because here was my issue with Amazon. You pour all your capital into inventory, you ship your products in, depending where you are in the US. We're up here in the Northwest in Oregon. They send almost all of our stuff to the East Coast.
Usually it takes a week to check in.
It will take about anywhere from 7 to sometimes 10 days. Q4 is like 2 to 2.5 weeks. Mm-hmm. So we really have to plan for Q4, especially this year now that we're going to hit it hard.
Yeah.
But so that my biggest issue with Amazon has always been the payouts. If I pour all of our capital into product and it ships in, it takes about a week, and then it starts to sell through, we don't see a paycheck for at least 2 weeks.
From that item. I mean, we're always getting rolling. Yeah,
you get paychecks every 2 weeks. So once you get the ball rolling, you'll get paid every 2 weeks. But if I know that, like, we just recently scored a huge haul, I paid $200 for the whole load, and it's worth about $6,000. But because it's taking so long to check in and start to process and get the sales going, that check is not going to be instant.
Right.
Or even on a single item, if you find, like, I've done a few printers. So I would buy like a $50 printer that's worth $400. I know I'm not going to see that money for at least 2 to 3 weeks. And if it sells right at check-in. So that's always been my issue. So when we started, or you've been doing it for a while, but when I started to actually open up my eyes and be like, okay, you're making some money with clothes now. Teach me eBay.
Yeah.
So I came over to eBay World. And I'm like, well, I've got all these electronics I love to flip, so I'm just going to throw some up. And next thing I know, it's like, boom, sold, boom, sold, boom, sold. And was the killer part. It sold, and instantly it's in my PayPal account. And if you guys do I have it?
What are you looking for?
If you guys don't know, maybe you're brand new and you don't know.
What are you doing?
Wrong one. Your PayPal, you can get a debit card. I'm covering the numbers.
I was gonna say, what are you doing?
You can get a PayPal debit card. So if we sold something right now for $50, it would go cha-ching on our phone, and we do immediate pay, so they have to pay right there. And then boom, it's paid, and I can use this within a minute. Like, it's instant payday. So that is the main reason I started to look at eBay as an actual platform to start putting focus on. Mm-hmm. Because when I go and buy inventory and I list a bunch of stuff on eBay, if I make a bunch of sales over the weekend or even over a few days or one day, boom, I can take that money and go out and source again, and I can keep compound affecting it over time. Right. So that was the main reason. Yeah. I fell in love with the instant cash. Fell in love with it. Shout out to James for the super chat. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Policies, payouts. Why did I write newbies? What was I going to talk about?
So we were going to talk to you guys about how to get started. Especially if you're brand new into Amazon and eBay and you're not really sure where to throw most of your capital, or you're not sure, what's going to take the most time, or here's what we have gained from the experience. We're not telling you this is the right way or the wrong way. It's just the way we've gone. Is that, well, I don't know. What
are you trying to say? This is unedited.
Unedited, obviously. Live. Yeah. We have bullet points. We just didn't
Usually I'm on the same wavelength.
No, I think that for newbies, especially now, as long as watching Amazon change so much in the last year and a half that we've been in it, and it changes constantly. If you want to start with $100, in my opinion, I think that $100 will go a lot further on eBay and snowball quicker on eBay rather than Amazon. That's my feeling. Yeah, and everybody can kind of assess what they're selling. That makes a huge difference, and what their payout would be from Amazon versus eBay. It's all going to be different. So we can't tell you that this is the best way to do it. This is just what we've learned over time. Yeah, totally. I now agree with that. So a year and a half ago, like when I first started doing these pallet videos and Amazon videos, again, back then there weren't all these crazy policies and crazy suspensions and restrictions, all this stuff.
So right now, for the average person to come into Amazon, it is doable. Don't get me wrong. You can come in and kill it still.
For sure.
You're going to have to jump through more hoops, and it might be a little bit more difficult now than it was a year and a half ago. Now with eBay hasn't changed. eBay is much more simple to start on because you can just take a few pictures of stuff around your house you want to get rid of, boom, sell it, and your money's in your PayPal. Now, again, as a newbie, I will just put this out there. You do have a 21-day period where you can't access that money as a new PayPal account, especially with eBay. So you'll have to wait 3 weeks to cash out if you want to put it that way. But I would totally agree. And you guys, do you agree, disagree? Like, we want to know your guys' thoughts too, because we're not experts in either area. We're just, again, we don't want to. I got tired of working for people. So we're just doing this for ourselves.
Yeah.
But eBay, I am a firm believer. If the average newbie came to me today and said, hey, what should I do to get my e-commerce business started? I'd say flip a few things on eBay, build up your capital, and then get into, wholesale, private label, online arbitrage, then start to go that way. Because Amazon, I'll tell you, takes a lot more money to get going with. Because again, if you spend $100 on products on Amazon, it's going to take you a week to ship it in. Let's say it sells within week 2, and then your payout is going to be a week after that. So you're looking at 3-week delay until you get your money back. Let's say off of that $100, you make $150. So 3 weeks later, you pull out your $150 from your deposit, you go reinvest, and then the same process happens. With eBay, if you take $100, you go to thrift stores, garage sales, etc., and you buy stuff that you can just keep flipping over and over and over day after day after day because you get that immediate money, then you're able to compound that a little bit quicker than Amazon in the beginning. Yeah. Now, once you have capital, I recommend starting with, minimum like $500. That's what we started with. I'd personally tell you to go upwards of like $1,000 if you can, but get into OA, get into the RA stuff if you're ungated or not restricted. I'll get into that in a minute. But that's what we would kind of recommend, guys. Is eBay's a great starter. I think it's a little bit easier to get into. In that sense, you are going to take more leg work. I will point that out. You have to take your own photos. You have to create your listings. You have to keep the stuff in your house or your garage, and then you have to package and ship it when it does sell. So it's a trade-off, but
it's a lot better, or it's a softer start rather than throwing all of that capital at Amazon and then waiting a little bit. Yeah,
exactly. So. And I love that you said that, Gina, with books. If you start on Amazon, books are an amazing way to get started. Books are easy to get a hold of for cheap. They're fairly easy to look over the condition guidelines, condition them the right way, price them. Books are an amazing way to get started. Highly recommend that.
Yeah. Somebody's selling baseball and hockey cards on Amazon. That's really awesome.
I love it. Yeah. We're not saying there's pros and cons to both, guys. We don't want you to say like Chaz and Trista said Amazon's not a good way to start. I'm just going to do eBay. Like, that's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
Both are amazing. They both have pros and cons. You have to decide your goal that you want. Yeah. Right? What's your goal, first of all, for reselling, and then choose which platforms are going to help you get there the best.
And you can see, just as Charles talks about it, that he loves to hunt for the next thing to flip. But if that's something that you hate to do, then eBay might not be a passion for you. Maybe Amazon's the best way to go. And maybe you have to put in some hours with eBay that you don't necessarily love to get to your end game of Amazon, down the road. But we like to do this, so it's not a better thing.
Yeah, totally. So last one is pricing.
Yeah.
So pricing in Amazon world, here's how I price stuff. If you're, and I'm referring to Amazon FBA, always am, because I don't merchant fill. So if you're merchant filling, this advice means nothing to you. I'm sorry. But if you're doing Amazon FBA, that means that if you send in a product under FBA, your product is Prime eligible. So any Prime customer can purchase it. Reseller niche. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
So with that being said, I don't price my stuff in comparing it to what the merchant people are selling it for. So let's say I get a product and I go to list it, and I'm looking at merchant sellers are selling it for $30, but Amazon Prime members are selling it for $45. I'm not going to say, well, I'm just going to come in at the middle. I literally ignore, there's rare circumstances where I will price based on the merchant people, but I ignore the merchant people. because I'm not in there. We're in two different arenas, two different customer bases. I'm looking at Amazon Prime. What are those customers paying? Amazon Prime members, I'll tell you this, will pay more for their product because they get to use their 2-day shipping. Even if the merchant one is 3-day shipping, they want their product now. They will pay more for it.
And I feel like they want to use up, or they want to feel like they got the Prime, they got everything out of their Prime for that year since they paid the yearly fee.
Yeah. So if you're in a scenario where you're going to list a product on Amazon FBA, and you see that the merchant people are kind of low, you can always price a little bit higher than those guys, just because the Prime customers. Let's say here's what most people do. A customer will search for their product. They will hit filter to Prime only, so they're not even seeing the merchant listings at all. So that's why the Prime members can typically, not members, Prime sellers, us FBA, you can sell at a higher price than normal merchant.
Right.
And that may not always be the case. Don't take me word for word. I've gotten people message me like, Chaz, that technically wasn't right. Weird, I'm human.
So eBay is a little different in that you can price, Amazon, you could price whatever you want as well, but you are paying attention to the trends, but not necessarily sticking with them. So say I look up a pair of Nike Rochers on eBay, and I look at the sold listings, and they're going for anywhere between 50 to 70. The high is 90, depending on my the quality, what they're, if they're new or used, if I'm offering free shipping or not. I can price to sell quickly, or I can price to sit on them for a month or two and possibly make a little more. So, Yoda, calm down.
I can't help it. I love this cup.
So that's where pricing comes in for eBay. Is really you can price things for what you feel they're worth. I don't know that someone will pay it, but the market, you do have to pay attention to what everybody else is doing. And our tendency is to price just a little bit higher. And then we're okay with sitting on a few certain things that will be a higher ticket. Or what I like to do is price a little higher and then run 20% sales. It makes people feel like they got a good deal on that item. And I got what I originally wanted, taking the 20% off. So
yeah, and with that too, guys, when you're doing eBay, if you don't know this, especially because we have a lot of people watching that either haven't created an eBay account, you wanted to get into eBay, or you're just brand new, you haven't sold anything, you're like, I need information. We keep in mind, we are going to create a step-by-step beginner series on eBay. So this isn't like a get started type video. We will create that.
Yeah.
But real quick is when you search an item on eBay, so let's say you're in a store, you find a video game you want to flip, search the video game in the title, and don't focus on what people have it listed for. You need to filter and hit sold, because it's not about what sellers are asking, it's about what buyers are actually willing to pay. There's a big difference. So sometimes you'll see these markups of an item, sellers will have like $47, $52, $45, but then you look at sold listings and they're actually selling for $30, because there's a big difference between what sellers want versus what the customer is willing to pay. So you just need to kind of find that fine line between that.
Right.
That's all I got.
Should we answer questions?
Questions. I'm done talking.
There's so many questions, you guys. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, now would be the time to drop those below.
Thank you, everyone, for... Oh my gosh, this is insane. There's so many people.
We're thinking hour and a half show today.
That's crazy.
Let's do this. If you just wanted the content, you want to hear our ideas and thoughts on Amazon versus eBay, you now have it. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
Then moving forward is Q&A.
Yeah.
So now we're going to chill.
Okay, so holy
Do you want to do
moly.
YouTube, Instagram?
Yeah. Okay, I got the YouTubers.
All right, IG. I got you.
Let's see.
IG, if you guys got questions, now's the time.
Let's see. So someone asked to start out retail arbitrage at the beginning. Should I start selling books, whatever makes a profit? Do you focus on books as a niche? We don't sell books on eBay, although I'm not sure that that was the question.
Recommend starting retail arbitrage at the beginning. Also,
but yeah, just basically whatever will make a profit, especially when you're first starting out. We weren't picky at the beginning, and actually we're really not picky now.
If it makes me money,
yeah,
I'm in.
We won't discriminate. Money's money, and it,
as long as it's legal, I'm in.
Right. Yeah, we should put that disclaimer in. It spends the same, so we don't mind. We like to stick with things that we can store easily for our eBay, and we actually don't mind storage fees for Amazon if we know that there'll be quick flips that won't hang out longer than a month or two.
Yeah, and with that too, get into, so I will say this, get into a niche that you know. And here's why. Oh, my storage is almost full on my phone. Sorry, guys. If Instagram cuts out, I'm sorry. If you get into a niche you know exactly what the value is of items. So let's say video games, right? The video game category. There's some video games out there, like old NES stuff. Certain video games are worth a ton of money. So if you look at a garage sale, if you look at a thrift store, if you're looking at Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and you're just quickly scrolling through and you happen to spot Mario Bros for the old NES, you know exactly how much that is worth off the top of my head. I think when I scanned it was like $15, around $15 to $20 on eBay for that one. But if I see Darkwing Duck for NES, $45. So if you know your niche, you know the value of stuff, you can spot stuff a lot better. And that helps out a lot when you're garage selling. There's times where I don't even need to pull my phone out anymore because I go in, I know exactly what my niche is. I know cameras, I know electronics, I know video games and shoes. Those are like my big categories. And then you do a lot of clothing.
Yeah, but don't be discouraged. Like, you're not going to know, high-end designer brands if you don't shop high-end designer brands.
And
so
research, guys.
You just have to research. I spent a lot of time on the internet looking up fellow YouTubers who are doing exactly the same thing that I wanted to do, and I just learned from them. And you can learn anything.
Yeah, like I wanted to get into more Nike shoes, so I had to learn the different styles, the different colors, like colors on shoes.
Yeah,
you can have. I have a Jordan Varsity Red combo that goes for way more than the regular colors. Yeah. So you start to learn these, but you need to put in the work and research to do that.
Yeah. Somebody asked also what clothing brands that I stick with. I sell everything. I sell $10 items that are bread and butter that come in every day. I also get a hold of nicer brands that I maybe pay more for initially, but I know that I will make a better return on. I sell Target to Vince Camuto to, we just sell everything.
In the eBay series, would it help you guys out if we put together like a list of clothing brands, shoe brands, that kind of stuff?
Yeah. We might do that.
Yeah, we'll come up with something for you guys.
Yeah. You have a question?
How do we avoid Amazon storage? One way to do that, sell your stuff fast.
Yeah.
So in Amazon, I didn't even talk about this one real quick. Big difference between Amazon and eBay. Amazon has what's called a sales rank and history. So we can look at something called a Keepa chart or camel. Non-Amazon people are like, what the fuck? What's that even
what is
mean?
That?
So those are two online websites you can go to see price and rank history. And you can see how fast stuff is selling just based on that rank.
Yeah.
So the closer to the number one seller, the better, obviously. eBay doesn't have that, so you have to go by the sold listings. But how we avoid Amazon storage fees, one, I don't mind paying them if it's worth the profit. So if I'm going to make like $40 on a flip, I'll wait, 60 days. If it's a cheap buy cost, the higher the buy cost, the faster I want that money back. Because the more capital I have out that's just sitting in a warehouse, the less I can spend. So I want to make sure I'm flipping as fast as I can on high buy cost items. So flip your stuff fast. So focus on fast selling ranks. Look at your Keepa history. I have more Amazon rank videos coming up soon. So keep an eye out for those.
Justin wants your Yoda mug. You have to go to Disneyland and get it yourself. Sorry.
I love this thing. Best $20 I ever spent.
Unless you want to buy it for $50, and then we might think.
I'm not selling for $50.
Sorry. Selling your stuff.
$249 free shipping.
Yeah.
That's what gets this. I love this mug.
So Javier thinks that eBay sounds hard to explain or do. Actually, I find eBay to be much simpler than Amazon as far as guidelines and rules and restrictions. If you are still super confused about eBay and not really sure where to start, honestly, I would start on YouTube, and I would also just start by opening up an eBay account.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons of information on the eBay website. They walk you through how things work and how to get started. I know that it can be a little overwhelming at first, but if you just take baby steps, get your account open. It doesn't cost anything to just have an open account. Start there. Yeah.
I agree.
I concur.
I didn't actually hear a word you said. I was reading. Typical husband. Resell Ninja says, I have a bunch of instructor books. Where can I upload them? Any suggestions? You cannot sell teachers or instructors edition books on Amazon. That's a no-go. You will get not even a slap on the wrist. You'll get shut down pretty quick. So eBay is going to be your option for that one. Real quick, Jen Sharif said, my husband and two of my sons just started about 10 days ago. 3 businesses in this household.
Nice.
You have been an inspiration. Thank you. We're in Beaverton, by the way, which is like 45 minutes from us.
Yeah.
Jen, message me because we're going to be hosting a meetup.
Yes.
September 16th, I believe, is going to be our meetup night.
In Portland.
In Portland. So message me. If you're in the Portland area, guys, either Instagram or YouTubers. If you're in Portland area, we're hosting a meetup. So we'd love to get as many people out there as we can. We need a head count so we can book the proper space. So message me. If you're on YouTube, message me directly on YouTube or go to our Facebook page and find us. You can hit us up at fbarockstars@gmail.com as well. So you can shoot us a message. But we'll get you info for that if you need it. Does eBay have an FBA program? eBay does have their own version of FBA, if you want to call it that.
It's called FBA Valet.
I'm like, why am I drawing back?
Or not FBA.
Obviously, I don't
eBay
use
Valet.
it.
Oh my goodness.
Obviously, I don't use it.
We need more coffee today. We don't use the Valet service. I haven't really looked into it much, so I can't really comment on that. Oh my gosh, there's just so many comments. I'm sorry.
You guys are awesome. Thank you for tuning in, by the way.
Somebody's putting his kids to work. That's awesome. Family business. We're all about family business. The hard part about this is having to tell my 2-year-old that he can't have all the toys in our garage.
Gabriella asks, how do we get away with scanning at yard sales without getting looks from owners? What's my method?
Those are my favorite. I love getting looks.
From day one that I started our Facebook group, our YouTube channel, started reselling, from day one have one rule: be transparent.
Yep.
You will get awkward looks sometimes, but here's what happens 99.9% of the time. If they look at you awkward and they ask you, what are you doing? You just say, I run an online retail business and I'm here looking for deals.
Most of the people
every time
love that we do this.
They're blown away most of the time. I have yet to run into, we've been doing this for almost 2 years. I've yet to run into one person that like, oh, you're one of those. Like you might get one. Don't get me wrong, but most people are completely chill. And here's the better part. We've gotten phone numbers because, we've given people our phone numbers. We came up with business cards now. So we give out our business cards because you'll have people that will start to communicate. And we had that one gal actually never followed up with. She never called us.
She never emailed us, but she has all of these Disney collectible books from when she was a child, and she wanted to sell them on eBay but didn't know how. And so we told her for a small fee we would sell them for her. And we never heard from her, but
and that's common.
I think the point is that most people are pretty friendly and
They don't know how
They
it
don't
works,
mind.
and most of them don't care.
Yeah, as long as you're not like taking all of their stuff and giving them $1. You know, if they're not feeling cheated, I guess is the point. But
yeah, so I've said it from day one. Connections and relationships are key, and you're only ever going to build those connections and relationships if you're transparent about what you're doing.
Yep.
So that's my take on that. I really could care less if somebody looks at me weird.
And Gabriella, just know that you're doing a really good job at reselling. If you're putting in the time and effort to look up what you're buying, don't worry about what other people are thinking of you.
Yeah. Is private label buying a product from China and selling it with your logo? In a sense, yes. That's kind of it.
It can be. We actually have friends who have American made products. There's so many ways you can go with that.
Oh, so many.
That's like a 4-hour conversation down the road.
Yeah, we're going to do private label videos down the road for you guys, get guest speakers, all that stuff. But yeah, private label is just creating your own brand, your own products.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. How much does it cost to start Amazon FBA?
Search Amazon FBA TOS, Terms of Service. And in there, you're going to see the monthly fees that will come out. So if you're doing a pro account, it's going to be $39.99, so $40, depending how technical you want to be. $40 per month if you want to be a pro seller. So that is, if you're selling 40 items or more, highly recommend doing the pro. Plus, you can get ungated and all these other benefits go with it. If you're doing just individual seller, there's no monthly fee. You'll just get charged $1 per item sold. So if you're selling 41 items, you're paying $41. You might as well just upgrade to pro for $40 and it's a flat. And then you're just paying monthly storage fees and all that kind of stuff that goes with it. Yeah, just go look at the TOS, read through that. That gives you all the information you need to know. When we list on eBay, are we selling under auction or buy it now? And there goes my Instagram live. Oops, my storage ran out. Sorry, guys.
What was the question?
Do we list eBay's auction or buy it now?
Mostly buy it now, just because I'm stubborn and I want a certain price for my items. But I have been dabbling in auction a little more, especially for things that are just stale that I want to get out. So we're playing around with that. Yeah,
I need to mess around with this. The other situation where you're going to get hopefully a good chunk of change in an auction is if you have a high demand item, especially because those people get into those bidding wars and they may actually just end up paying more just so they can win the bid. I've done that myself on items before.
Right. Somebody wants to know what apps we use. We use the eBay app. You download it on your phone, just says eBay, you log in and it shows you all your back office stuff. For Amazon, we use the Amazon Sellers app. We also use Scoutify.
That comes with Inventory Lab. We're going to switch over to Scout IQ, is a book-specific scouting app, which is rolling out right now. And so if you guys want that, they already have it live. You can start using. You can just message us for details on that.
We also use Keepa, Keepa. And
that
Camel.
Staple.
Yeah.
Keepa is a staple.
Keepa.
Learn to read those charts if anything. That's on Amazon side.
Yep. But as far as as far as eBay goes, we just use the eBay app. I do a little bit of research on Google if I'm not sure about pricing. Especially for clothes, I will look cross-reference with Poshmark and that kind of thing.
Rudy says Amazon buyers tough, eBay buyers cool. Yes, they are.
Let's see. Somebody was going to go shopping with our PayPal card.
Don't take my numbers, please.
Sorry, we're just reading comments. You guys are awesome. I can't believe so many people are on here. It's amazing.
I love that, Patrick. I would start with items around the house.
Yep.
100%. Gary Vee even talks about this. Like, most people have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars just sitting around their house.
For sure.
Clean out those closets. Clean out the old books that you don't need. Textbooks you may have had for years. Those are worth money. get those in.
Yeah. Somebody wanted to know about selling their wedding dress. You could actually, depending on the style, I would look at the higher end like Poshmark or those kind of websites where you would be able to ask a higher price. You're going to have probably a lot more dialogue with a customer as far as style, fit, all that good stuff.
Yep.
Lots of vintage video games. Okay.
Scroll back up.
I think we're getting close to the
end. Do you
end.
need a credit card to sell on Amazon? Yes, you do need a credit card on file with those guys. Ordered a mannequin a week ago with Amazon Prime, still not here. You just need to get on Amazon Prime chat and chat with those guys. They'll get you taken care of. Amazon has the best customer service ever. They'll replace your item, if not refund you and replace it. I've seen it done both ways.
Right. Salima, you wanted to know about some items that would be good to get started in. As far as eBay goes, I mean, it's kind of whatever you love. And we really preach that because you're not going to keep selling something that you hate to sell. So if you don't like car parts, odds are you're not going to be very good at listing car parts. You're not going to use the right keywords. I have a really good example of this. Charles picked up these fishing reels. I have no idea what to do with them. I literally wrote fishing reel and then I drew a blank. I have no idea what else to say. There were all these keywords I was missing out on, like deep sea fishing and, the list goes on. So pick something that you like, that you know a little bit about. You don't have to know all the intricacies and the specific details about that niche, but just find something that you like, whether it's shoes or, records or vintage games or, maybe you like the interior parts of a car, I don't know, just find something that you like and start there. As far as Amazon goes, it does get a little trickier. I don't know if you want to speak to that.
Yeah, that gets into the private label game of creating your own brand and getting around that. You can.
Well, I think he means just for getting started in FBA.
Oh, just for getting started. I mean, yeah, start with books. That's what I recommend. Books, retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, stuff you're already ungated in. You guys can get ungated and you can get restrictions lifted, so you can get unrestricted. If you just go through wholesalers or distributors and get those invoices. Yep. If you guys want to see exactly what Amazon wants, just go into your Amazon Seller Central, click add a product, and then type in a brand that you want, like Star Wars or Disney, and you will hit list.
Those are terrible examples.
Well, it's true. You can do it. Yeah. You can totally do it. I just helped a guy do it the other day.
Yeah.
So you can click list. It will say listing limitations apply, I believe. So you click on that and then it will say get approved or apply or something like that. And then the next page will show you exactly what they want. And usually it's going to be along the lines of, we want a invoice from a wholesaler or distributor with at least 10 of these items on it. So you just go find a wholesaler or distributor for that brand or that toy or whatever it is and get that invoice, apply, and then keep applying if you need to.
Yeah.
Amazon reps can be picky. I already did that one. Do Star Wars or Marvel shirts sell well on eBay? Yes, they do.
I haven't sold any, but
I haven't sold any. I've looked a lot of them up because I get Loot Crate every month, so I'm starting to look up.
Oh yeah, we have sold our Loot Crate shirts.
Sold my Loot Crate stuff.
eBay Prime. Okay, I think we're getting close to the end, you guys.
Do you guys think it's worth getting ungated in grocery? Here, it's a two-parter. Do I think it's worth it? Yes. Have we done it? No.
Yeah.
And that's on us. So I have not done any grocery yet. How many days a week do we source?
We definitely spend all day Friday right now sourcing. Charles is out intermittently all week. I don't even know how many hours we spend.
It's hard to determine. I don't have like dedicated days anymore. I go out and pick up the deals when I find them. Right now, we're already getting ready for Q4, so I'm putting in a lot more time.
And we do a lot of OA right now as well.
I'm getting into OA heavily, so I don't have to go out and source. So I do spend at least an hour a day just online doing online arbitrage. But it's all shipped to my house.
But it's all shipped to. Oh, another great program that we use for that is Tactical Arbitrage.
But there's a caution.
There's a caution.
They are closed for new members right now, and they will open back up soon.
But there's a good thing about that. The founder of this company, he does just amazing work, and he always closes to make better his product, and then he brings it back better and stronger.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that for sure.
And if you guys do want to get on the wait list when that opens back up, of course, we do have an affiliate with that. We can actually get you a 7 It's a 7 or a 10-day free trial. It's been a while since I looked. So if you want a 7 or free day trial and you want to help support us in what we do, it's much appreciated. You can message me. I'll put you on our wait list.
Do we have an eBay store? Yes, we do. You don't have to
upgrade it.
We did.
To the premium?
You don't have to start with an eBay store, though. You can start on eBay just as a seller. And when you first get started, they'll tell you that you have a listing limit. I helped my mom get started selling homeschool books, and she listed 2 items, two like sets of curriculum, and then it wouldn't let her list anymore. And so you just call eBay and ask them for a limit increase on your listings. I've never heard of them denying anybody.
Here's the thing with that. When I first found out about Amazon, it was at a seminar, and they talked about eBay too. I came home for 2 weeks before I even stepped foot into Amazon territory. I tried eBay. And I called the day I opened my account. I called like 3 hours later, and I said, hey, I'm a new eBayer. I'm getting ready to hit this thing hard. And I would love to get more than 10 listings. And he gave me 100 listings right there.
Yeah.
Just call and ask.
And you don't need the store to get started. We buy the store because you get certain perks if you buy the store membership. It's a monthly fee, and they give you price breaks on your listings. So that's why we do it.
Mayweather versus McGregor. Oh, I'm torn, but I'm leaning towards, this is the fight I was telling you about earlier.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards Mayweather just because it's his territory. He's 50-0. I mean, it's his ring. I'm leaning towards it. I may get some flack from this, but I'm leaning towards Mayweather. I'm torn though, because I do like them both. Have we used Wow Lister for listing things on eBay? I've used it. It works awesomely. Pulling lists from Amazon. I've heard of it. I have not tried it, and I haven't used Joe Lister a ton. But if it does the same thing, but if it does a better job, I would actually be more than game to try. I'm actually going to write that down. So thanks for bringing that up. I do have a lot of listings right now. I would love to get onto eBay from our Amazon store. Wow Lister. Yeah, thanks for that. That's what I love about this community, guys. Like,
for sure.
Actually just get up here and help each other. Shocking.
Yeah, I always find it funny when people are not willing to help each other in this, because there's so much opportunity. There's plenty to go around. Yeah.
Where was it? Who just said we should go to Florida?
Mandy.
We will be in Florida because we're going on our Rock Stars retreat, which is a cruise. So we are going to be, we get on the boat the 16th of October. So we'll be probably a day or two before the boat. We're probably going to host a Florida meetup, and it's going to be in Miami. So for Miami-based people or around there, keep an eye out, because we'll let you guys know when we do a meetup down there. Mm-hmm. It'll be either before or after the cruise. So October like 15th or October 20th, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I'll keep you posted.
Okay, you guys, we're an hour 15 in. I can't believe there's people in here still.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah, you're so awesome. So we will be back next week for our flips and finds. It sounds like people are kind of enjoying that, so we'll keep doing it. Basically, we're just showing you guys what we find during the week. Right now we're sourcing a lot on Friday because it's garage sales season here and we have to take advantage. So
that's why we want to show you guys what we're finding and flipping, because we want to give you guys an idea of what you can find and keep an eye out for, and then about what price point they're selling.
Right. And I've been just as shocked as some of our viewers about what we find and
I know
flip.
some of this stuff.
Some of this stuff I literally walk past and Charles will pick it up and scan it or look it up on eBay. And
the footballs.
The footballs.
I
walked past this huge basket of footballs because they're stinky footballs, and we had a nice surprise with those. So thank you for everyone, to everyone who's been watching, and we're going to keep doing our Flip Some Finds show on Monday, Tuesday-ish, and then definitely Side Hustle Pro show on Thursday.
And keep an eye out, because I think we're probably going to sit down and map out eBay for Beginners series.
Yes, eBay for Beginners is coming soon. So if you are really still very confused about eBay, which is understandable, we're going to help you guys out. Help you conquer the eBay beast.
Step by step, from making an account to finding a product to listing it, the photos, the listing itself, keywords, when it sells, how do you do the shipping, what types of shipping, what boxes, cool ways to modify boxes if you need to, like a lot of fun stuff. So we're going to come out with that for you guys.
For sure.
Aside from that, this has been Chaz.
And Trista.
Peace out, guys. Thank you for tuning in to episode number 3.
Where we boxed it out.
Amazon versus eBay. We did
Mayweather versus.
Should we do a Rally Roots? That was a Rally Roots move.
No,
right there.
We can't steal their thing.
That was
it wasn't my idea.
That was completely accidental. I love it though. Ryan and Allie, you guys should. You should trade.
I'm not doing it.
No, do it. You should trademark just the fist bump right here.
Yeah,
this should be your guys' trademark.
We're gonna get some kind of like.
I love it.
Notice.
I'm gonna tag Ryan and Allie.
Don't do that.
So funny.
All right. Peace.
Hold on, I just closed my window on accident. All right, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.